Alright, I'm not sure how this is going to play out because it's quite jerky on the screen, but let's have a look. So here's Modo and here's Max. So the last video I was looking at some comparisons. I'm just going to do sort of live comparisons now. So Max is pretty easy, it's all you know, just draw a box. In Modo, which I'm learning, so I'm shaky on it at the moment. To draw a box you go here. For Max users like me, it seems a bit weird because it just draws a plane, so and then you have to lift it up there, like so, to get the cube. That's the immediate thing you think you're going to do, but then if you hold down Control it makes the cube like that, a uniform cube. And then in Max we have the segments here, so we can give them 3 segments each side. In Modo we can put in the segments down here. So it's the same thing really. Alt and right mouse button to revolve around it. And also it's got this really nice spinner option, so you go Alt, right mouse button, it spins around in Modo. And then to track around in Max you can choose orbit sub-objects, and then that orbits around. Just going to check my stream. Yep, it seems to be going. Yeah, you can kind of... It's fairly visible, So let's go back. Okay, so in Max you have to convert it to an editable poly, and in Modo it's there already. And in Modo you can go to polygons here. I'm just learning Modo, so it's not going to be too fast. So polygons and 3. I'm just showing you the experiences of converting from 3ds Max to Modo. So you click a polygon like that, and then we extrude Shift and X, and we can bring it up like that. And then in Max, again we select that, and we can extrude from there. And then I'll pick. It seems perhaps some of you advanced or intermediate Modo users can help me out here. If I selected that, oh okay, right, so then I can select that. Let's right click, we can do an extrude by right clicking. And to be honest, I haven't looked into why when I press exceed. Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, so I haven't looked into what I press right, left click there, extrude. It extrudes freely, yeah. And in Max, I haven't worked that out. I've only just started using. In Max, the extrude is on the local normal. Yeah, or it can be by polygon. It's just these little things that you get used to. And then again, edges. So you can go to edge selection up here, and you can select the edges. Hold down Control. In Modo does nothing, it's Shift, so it's again you're getting used to the different key commands, whereas in 3ds Max it's going to be, for the edges it's holding down again, so it's Control. So keep Control down to select multiple in Max, be it edges, polygons, etc, etc. And the same in Modo, but we're using Shift. Shift to select edges, and Shift to select multiple select polygons. And let's have a look. Move, rotate, select. So we can press Y, and we're going to get a nice multiple trackball in Modo. So we can move things up, and we can rotate as well like that. In Max, we don't really have that. Whoops, why has it disappeared? Oh no, that looks like a display fault. Well, that rarely happens, but because I'm showing all of you live, it just happens to do that then. So I'll just make a new one. So when you learn one 3D program, it's I personally find it quite easy to transfer to another one. So I know quite a few different 3D programs. The main one I know is 3ds Max. I've used ZBrush. I use Blender, especially to teach workshops. So once you know one, it's quite simple to transfer to another one because the principles are all fairly much similar. You know, we've always got polygon editing, edge editing, vertices editing. So number one, to get to the vertice, left click to select, and then the same here like that. And then this time it's control to multiple select, like so. Okay, so there's 2 people watching. Just type in anything if you want to ask a question. I might go and get some water in about 1 minute. Okay, so, and then in 3ds Max we've got what's called a Modifier Stack, and Modo doesn't have this apparently, or it has something else. I think it's called layers or lists, I don't know. So I've only really just started using it. I'm using the trial version here. Let's go to polygons, let's go to items, that's the whole lot. And then we can go to geometry subdivide. And then in Max we have to go to the Modifier Stack. We can Turbosmooth it, which is a little bit different to subdivide, but you can see that's fairly similar, like so. So we've got 2 people watching, so ask any questions if you want. I keep checking back here. I know the stream isn't that good, but it's the best I can do. So the mouse wheel in Modo, zoom in and out, and then the same in Max. So there's the Modifier Stack. There's some way, if anyone knows Modo, there's a way you can take the... Oh, there you go. No, base mesh. I don't know, perhaps you can't. So in Max, the really good thing is that you have the Modifier Stack, and you can take it back. So if you put on a modifier like Turbosmooth, you can either switch it off, you can delete it, or you can copy and paste the modifier. Yeah, I'll have to find out about what's the equivalent in Modo or the next equivalent. And what should we randomly look at now? Okay, let's have a look at display. So we've got ray GL off, so we can do full. That gives a nice, that's like a render almost with the wireframes in. Other programs, we don't. Yeah, so it's oh right, okay, so the that realistic does turn off when you edit it like that. I see. Yeah, it's quite clever. It holds the frame. Because I'm not a programmer, but for some reason it doesn't seem, most 3D programs don't edit with real-time shadows and stuff, because I guess it takes a lot of processing. I don't know any programmers out there, let me know. So that's ray full, so that seems to be the display, and I've got realistic here, but this is an older version of Max 2015. I've used the newer versions, but this is the one I own, so I always came back to this, and now 3ds Max is quite a lot of money a month, so I'm finding, because I model a lot and print out in 3D prints, I'm finding Modo good, and also the indie version will allow me to just model, because the main thing is I model and then I can either take it to another program to render, like Arnold or something, or I can get a nice 3D print. I think the Modo Indie's got some restrictions on it, but it's still quite good, and the full version is about £500 a year, so it's not much when you consider, when you're making commercial work. So like viewport textures, I don't have any textures on that. You can get the UVs up here. Can I close that box? Yeah, so it's all fairly user-friendly. What's this? Render try. Yeah, viewport settings. Oops. So it's just a question of going through some tutorials. and also doing this sort of thing where you sort of explore on your own the user interface system. What's that? Oh, magnify. In the same way, that's how I learned Max when I started learning Max back in 1999. Now it's a long time away. So we've got one person watching. So if you want to say anything, just let me know, and I'll try and answer that. I'm just going to tweet. This is quite fun, isn't it? So I just hashtag that 3ds Max to Modo. Yeah, I quite like doing live stuff because it's more random. Let's do Facebook. Let's see if anyone wants to join on Facebook. Well, that's not showing up as what it should be. Have I typed in the right thing here? Yep. Oh well. I'll just do the Twitter one. So where are we? Yeah, go back to Modo. So to be honest, some of the controls are a bit tricky to get used to, and I'm also left-handed, so some of the keyboard shortcuts in Modo are a bit tricky. I'm having to shift my right hand to do it because my left hand's on the mouse. I guess we can switch, but I don't like doing that because if the buttons are all arranged in the industry standard way, then when you're working with people and things like that and doing work in companies, you're not wanting to work differently to the rest of the people. So I always try to just use the settings that came with it, although it's biased towards right-handed people. I wonder if there's a button that can switch, just mirror the controls, or if there's a script like that would be good. So just doing this in Max, I'm going to extrude. As you see, I just extruded all of those like so, and let's see if we can do that in Modo. I'm just going to see how far back I can control Z. Okay, so control Z, it's got a lot of undos with it. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the loop command. There is a loop somewhere here, so you just have to go through it. Let's look, mesh edits. Yeah, polygon. It's just a question of going through it and then finding which I can't find at the moment. Edge slide. There's a strange knocking house and a flat in Devon, and there's a strange knocking house, knocking sound. I don't know what that was. I'm doing a contract here for the year in the Fab Lab, a fabrication lab, so it's quite good. So I'm using my 3D skills to use there as well. So, but I'm working all evenings to do the 3Z universe. So if you want to check that out, it's jamesabelart.com/blog. So I'm doing that. It's basically like an indie Transformers. It's nothing like Transformers, but it's like an indie version of that concept, or Zoids, or if everyone remembers Zoids or something like that. So you come up with the models and the sort of artwork, and then you take it from there to make a book, comic, products, and perhaps a film as well. But I'm actually looking at, I was thinking I was going to make a film. I've made films in the past, but I suddenly thought it would be really good to do some VR stuff, with the, when you've got your Oculus Rift headset or your, phone headset, and actually do some little animations there. So you can, for example, the work I'm doing at the moment, I'm just sort of doing a field, like like grassland with the sun setting and sort of particles drifting, like specks of dust, and then these strange, sort of almost alien kids working in the field. Perhaps some ships going past, and then I want to have flashes of the abstract lines that I do, and a movie that would be good, and you could post-produce it, but like a micro clip. But I'm starting to really get into looking into VR. So you can use a game engine, but I saw this really good tutorial on Learn Squared that I'm going to buy. I've forgotten his name actually, but it's concept architecture, and he renders 360 spheres. So it's just like a flat plane, so it's not a game engine. He renders the spheres, and then he puts the spheres on Sketchfab, so you can look around it. So he makes some really cool architecture. I think he's Max, I can't remember, but check it out, it's Learn Squared. It's really good courses. I'm also doing another course on that. It's about cinematography, and luckily it's got the 3D element, and it's about Blender. So you kind of like photograph some people in real life doing an idea from a scene you make, and then you use Modo as the backdrop. So that's going to be, I'm on the Modo stage almost, so that will be a really good way to learn this program. It seems cool. Let's see if anyone's, no, there's one person watching now. So if you can hear me, I'm on the Modo. Oh well, the microphone's working anyway. So it's 19 minutes now. Wow. Time flies when you're not doing much, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's have a look at some of the other tools. So the modifiers. So we've got Turbosmooth there, and the modifiers here seem to be. They don't really seem to have modifiers. They seem to be built into the commands. I don't know what this fusion is. Set mesh roll to subtractive trim, untrim. I'll have to look what fusion is. What's that? Is that a spray can? Wow, looks very interesting. UV, so that must be the UV. So we've got some good stuff there. As many as some of you might see my other stuff, and I'm working with Substance Painter now as well. So I think Modo Indie has a built-in script to work with Substance Painter, so that's going to be good. Because I'm kind of jettisoning Max, I'm not sure what I'm going to use for rendering, because the Modo Indie, I don't think it renders that big, and also, but you know, if I buy the full package it will. But I could look to external renderers, because I mean the 3ds Max 2015 render is still actually okay. It's good. The sun system, you can make quite quick sun stuff, but it's getting a bit old. So the rendering and also the animation, I guess I could animate in 3ds Max as well, because I'm so used to it, you know. And I want, you know, the aim is to get to, well, what I will do is get to the stage where I'm as competent in Modo as Max, and I don't know how long that's going to take. I mean, it'll probably take 6 months in reality, by doing some live work, some commercial work, and some of my own, you know, personal product stuff, art stuff, and then my 3Z product as well. Basically, just go through all these, click, 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 have a look, do that, and it crashes. So could someone let me know why these tabs are crashing my demo version of Modo? So I'm going to have to start again. Modo. So we're looking at modifier-y things. Let's go to Max, and then let's have a look at the modifier stack. Alright, let's go to Run Modo. What's that? So I don't bother reading this. It appears in the application. No. Really nice here. You've got presets at the start, so you can select that. Hopefully it's going to load. Is it going to crash again? All right. No, okay. And this gives an immediate, really nice scene, and you can probably go to full. So look, is that going to render it in full? Yes, nice. Sun controls. Alright, so you've got the sun controls, so you can change this position. Can you change the position there? Is that the rotation? Whoops. Well, anyway, that's gonna, perhaps I can rotate it up here. Alright, could be work. Nope. It's not willing to rotate. Oh well, anyway, so. Okay, it tells you here. That's kind of annoying, not very obvious that. But anyway, so you could import one of your models into these presets, which is nice. Some people walking there. They look almost like the walking plugin in 3ds Max. And then you can quickly render like that. Well, that's rendering. Oh no, there's no one watching now. That's right. It's recording onto YouTube anyway. So this is rendering. and it's quite a nice render, as you can see. The tree's not up to much, but that's nice. So if you made a model, a white model or something with textures, and you imported it like that, you'd immediately get a nice globally illuminated, nice render. Max, you can do things like that. You can add a sun system, daylight or sunlight, that sort of thing. Quickly set that up. Work with the settings. Test it. It's kind of dark. Go to the preset, daylight. Test it. Oh, I know why, because you need to see. So there's a lot more to do to get that, and because I know it off by heart, it's okay. But to get to that stage, and even still, it's not. Oh, it's because I need to change the rendering, the rendering, the renderer. So it needs to change to mental array, because that's the way the sunlight system works when you're doing mental array sunlight systems. So let's just render that. There you go. So that's done that. But in Modo, it's just a preset, and it looks very nice. So I'm going to stop now. There's one person watching. Do you want to ask me a question? Okay, so it doesn't look like they want to ask me a question. So I'm just going to leave you here. And thanks, that was great. Thanks very much for tuning in. And any questions I'll answer in the playback when it's on YouTube. So thanks very much for now. Bye-bye. Okay. Stop this. It's so unprofessional. Yeah, I think go here. Yeah. Stop screen.